for being patient. And we are Team 4 finally. And we'll show you with you guys of our process in terms of exploring the next killer app. So where's the, let's introduce ourselves first. I'm Izu, and you guys call me Ian.
I'm Rachel.
I'm Doc.
I'm Doris.
Okay, so where's the killer app? The next killer app, it seems like it's missing, and it's really makes us angry. It makes us a bunch of angry birds, and we're gonna be hunting for it. It's like just like, boom, get it. And so we're gonna firstly look at the mobile apps industry as a whole. We'll give you guys an overview of it, and then Richard is going to talk about deeper analysis and research of the specific app called WES, and then we will introduce our killer app. So firstly, we come up with these top 10 mobile apps in the whole industry. They are Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Angry Birds, iTunes, AccuWeather, Gmail, WES, and Lazy Uncle. And these 10 top apps can be obviously classified into 4 groups, 5 groups, sorry. And these 3 groups are social network applications. And let's look at the Twitter and Facebook first. They are pretty huge in pie size, which is basically telling us that they have many sound bites, many buzz. But in terms of performance, they are not performing very well. You can see the sentiment range is low, and the passion intensity is in the medium. And the lazy unfollow obtained both highest sentiment and highest passion intensity. But the size of the pie is very small. It's telling us that not so many people are using it. And the ways it obtains the highest sentiment range, and also its pie size is small. Not so many people are using it. So what do people think about this top apps? So how people like it, how people dislike it? We find out that these likes are very diverse throughout these top 10 mobile apps, but they share some common features such as free and look. And if we see the mobile apps as a whole, we can see the top one like of it is free. And this is basically telling us that people are really like free apps. Nobody wants to pay for apps. And how do people dislike it? The top 3 dislikes is slow and do not work for me. They are all basically functionality defect. So this is basically telling us that it's very important that you want to make sure that your app is high qualified. So if it doesn't make any sense, if your app doesn't work for your consumer, even if it's very well designed, it's a good idea. It doesn't make sense. So let's move on to the top 5 categories. What is the top 5 categories? They are mapping, social network, game, weather, and music. You can see here mapping is pretty separate apart from these 4. It's can the highest sentiment range, but you can see here that the brand passion of mapping is very low. It's the lowest one here. Why is this happening? We're going to get into later. And the performance of weather application is relatively low among these 5 categories. And another interesting thing here we can see is social network. The pie size of social network as a category is the smallest one in these 5 categories. Why is this happening? It's pretty opposed to our common sense, and why is this happening? And we will get it later. So let's go deeper with these 5 categories. What are people? What sentiment do people have upon these 5 categories? You can see in this comparison chart of 5 categories on sentiment, the mapping apps has the absolute advantage over these 4 categories in terms of the net sentiment. In other words, the positive sentiment over negative sentiment. And the second place is the social network. But the social network is very, the bar is very short. It's because, you remember the pie size is very short. It's very small. It's because it's, it's just very small. It's very opposed to our common sense. So what do people think about these top 5 categories? If you look at the first row, the gray bar here is mapping apps. It accounts for more than 50% of this bar. This bar is like. So this is telling us that mapping application is very well liked. But if you see the second row, it's love. The mapping bar here is much shorter than the first one. This is corresponding to the brand passion index before we had before that the people are liking it, but the brand passion is very low. Not many people love it. Liking and love is different. And what people think may be different from what people do, so we better look at the behaviors of these 5 categories. But in our case, it's pretty corresponding to each other, because we can see here mapping apps accounts for the largest part here in the use. This is telling us that mapping apps is the most widely used among these 5 categories. So what do we have so far? What is interesting so far? Hopefully you can recall the first slides, the brand passion slides for the top 10 applications. There are 4 to 5 social network applications in that chart according to personal clarification criteria. But in the category brand passion index, the social network pie is the smallest one. What is this telling us? The number of social network application is not large, but in the top 10 there are 4 there of them. This is telling us there that social network applications tend the highest possibility to be popular, as long as it's very well designed. And we mentioned mapping apps a lot because it obtains the the highest net sentiment. People likes it, and it's the most widely used app category. So we do have social network apps and mapping apps. What if we put them together? And is there any existing examples of this? What's going to happen? So we'll hand it over to Rachel. She will talk about the detail about ways.
Yes, thank you. Okay, first question. Help me here. Is it west or waste or west? Waste. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm Chinese. It's okay. And now let's look at the waste, right? Waste. Okay, let's look at the waste. How many people here use waste? Please raise a hand. Everyone? See, that's why this is a developing industry. Okay, let me give you some background of waste. This app is really awesome because first one, it will provide you a mapping function. Guess what? It will tell you where you are and where the focal is. So that's really awesome. Go back and download that. That's really good. Just tell you where the focal is. Okay. Why is combine the social network? Because in ways you can set up a group. You can stay in touch with your friend, and then your friends see on the map, okay, you are near a policeman, and then he will tell you, be careful. So that's awesome. But problem is when you are driving, are you looking at the text message? It's dangerous, right? So okay, never mind. Let's go deeper analysis of the West. Okay, is it the
Person.
Oh, okay, got it. Look at the first row. This is the behavior of use, and then the green one is West, and the yellow one is Twitter, and then the blue one is Facebook. So almost 32.5% of the use fall into West. So actually, people are using that. It has the advantage over Twitter and Facebook. So, okay. So this kind of combination app of the social network and then mapping, is it working good? It is. this is the size of the top positive emotion of West. And then we can see here, this one is fun. It's 24%. So this is a really fun app because here's some bites of this app. It is really fun. It is combined GPS and traffic social. It is a navigation app with fun gaming and social elements. So now we have the conclusion here. This kind of combination of social network and then mapping, it really works good. And then as a new killer web, can we just add something more function to it? So now let's move to our killer app. Okay, here's the name. The name is So Voice, and then I'll tell you later why we put voice in that. This is for the mapping function. It is the similar to West. Here's a map you can get from this app, and then here the central one is the location of yourself. And then you will see the red one is your friend. You can import your friend from your Facebook and Twitter or email or whatever. And then here's the friend. That's their location. Once they are using the app and then they are online, then you can see them from the map where exactly they are. And then the gray one, guess what? They're strangers. You don't know them, but they are online. And they are using the app, but they're strangers, you don't know them. Maybe we're in the classroom, maybe most of you are not my Facebook friend, but I can see you from this map. Is it interesting? So, why we call this a so voice? Because now we have the mapping function, and we left the social network behind, right? So, let's go back to NetBase and then see what happened to the current social networking app. We will see that this is the top 10 dislike for the social network app. See here, this is a great amount of pie chart is pointless. What the pointless means? So it means now the current social network, they have the similar function. And then I have a question for you guys. Who here used the Facebook app and then Twitter app at the same time? Please raise your hand. Oh, we got 2, 3, 4, 5, 4. Oh, okay. Is it annoying that one of your friends updates his status on Facebook and Twitter and that's exactly the same, and then you got 2 updates? One is from Facebook and one is from Twitter, and they are exactly the same. Sometimes it's annoying, right? So, okay, the problem here is the function of the social network, they are similar. And then we want to put something really different to the social network app. Now, that's why we introduced the voice chatting to our new apps. Here we go. Here's the So Voice. This is our next killer app. And let me introduce the new app to you. First of all, you can why it is called So Voice, because you can take a record on your iPhone or whatever device you have. It's like I wanna send a message, voice message to one of my friends. It's like tap. Okay, now it's recording. Hey girl, I'm doing a presentation right now. I'm super nervous right now. Okay, done. And then and then I send it to my friend. And my friend will receive a voicemail. And it is totally free. So it is not from the voicemail on your cell phone. It is totally free because it's just based on the internet. So she will get a voice message, said I'm totally nervous here. And then she will know that I'm doing a presentation. I cannot listen to my cell phone, so just text me back. You're doing good, girl. Just like that. And then you can send a text message or you can send the voice message to strangers. Just like we're here in the classroom, and then we will choose one who's online and using the same app, like whatever, you guys. And then I'll just pick one and then say, hey, give me an internship. So it's like that. I can send this voicemail to someone who's stranger you don't know, or maybe you just know them today.
Just one explanation. These strangers are not, literally strangers. It has to be shown on your mapping. The first function of our app is the mapping function. It shows the map with the radius of 10 miles. There are people around there with little things. There are some of them may be your friends, but some of them maybe not. But you can also send voice message to them.
Yes. Okay, and then let me introduce the most amazing function of this app. Guess what? This is internet is worldwide, right? So you want to find someone who's maybe overseas, and then guess what? You just do this. Hold your iPhone or whatever. Just shake it, and then okay, it will pop out something like the name, and then maybe his number. Guess what? Because he or she is the one shaking his device at the same time. So it will tell you who's as bored as you are. You're doing the same shaking thing. So is that amazing to make a boring friend?
And also you can send the voice message to the number.
Yeah. Hey, I'm shaking. We are shaking at the same time.
Hey, let's shake together.
Okay, so as I mentioned, you can import your contact from outside source, from Facebook, from Twitter, from whatever email you have. And then now let's take a look at the device we had. The right side of this chart is the top 5 device brand, and then we will see a lot of stuff like for iPhone and iPad, just basically Apple products. And then the left side of the chart is the top 5 top 5 device of each brand. And then we can also see Apple product, they have really good soundbite. So basically we will use Apple products as our device to carry this app. So we can recall, and then I think all of them get the same idea that BlackBerry is not doing good right now, so maybe we will left the BlackBerry behind. And then now we choose the iPad, and then Samsung is our idle device to carry the product. But guess what? iPad is not a idle device for our app, because you know what? It's really annoying to see people hold an iPad like this big and shake it. So that's really annoying. So that's why we just chose smartphone as our device to carry these apps. And so now our conclusion will be the platform we choose will be iOS system and an Android system. And then now we will go to do some analysis for the target market. I'll go.
Okay, thank you. Okay, now let me talk about the target market. In order to do our target market, what we need to do? We need to do market segmentation, right? We need to which group we need to get, which group we need to drop. So NetBase gives us a good function. NetBase offers 2 ways to do market segmentation. First is here, use gender, and second is use behaviors. Okay, now in terms of gender, we find male accounts for 70% and female accounts for only 30%. So can we get to a quick conclusion? We can say male are the main users, all right? And in terms of the behaviors, we can say here, give accounts for 56% and use accounts for 30%, and others need, install, and buy accounts for the remaining approximately 20%. So, okay, in terms of use, from NetBase, I find use is just the people who just use social networking applications. For example, they just use it to follow some stuff, just like David became, or they just use it because his professor or is using it. Okay, and we are not interested in this group. And we are interested in this group, give. From NetBase, I find give means people want to get something from the social networking applications. Some people say, I want to social networking applications to give me a job opportunity. I want to get some new buddies from social networking applications. Okay, so we choose this group. We think this is a better group. So in general speaking, our target market base is users of current social networking applications. But specifically, we are prefer male, and I think the age is from 18 to 30. Maybe they are high school or college school students, just maybe. Okay, and in terms of the positioning, first of all, our category is social networking. We are doing the mapping. But the main purpose of our soul voice is to maintain the relationship with each other. So we still put it to the social networking. Here we use POP and POD to do our market segmentation. POP means points of parity, and POD means points of differences. And in terms of POP, I think our soul voice share the same function with other social networking applications, just to give a platform for people to maintain their relationship with each other. But in terms of POD, we have two PODs. Firstly, people just need to check it, and he can find the person who are check it at the same time, right? And then second POD I think it's a very cool function. We'll offer a new communication concept to our customers. They can send voice message, right? So finally, we find our end. So what?
Okay.
Thank you. Questions?